Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking all about the new and upcoming luxury makeup releases, and I'll be sharing whether or not I plan to purchase in the segment I call Love It or Leave It. Even before YouTube, I always loved to know what was coming next, just out of curiosity, but now it is imperative that I plan my purchases. That way I can budget accordingly and I don't accidentally go overboard, purchase more things than I should, and end up regretting it later on. I've moved completely away from picking up things just to review. I no longer shop that way. It was never really that fun to begin with, but now I'm even pickier. So if you're new here, or maybe you've missed me talking about it the last few times, I really have to love something 100% to purchase at this point. My collection's too big. There's nothing that I really need. I'm sure you're in the same boat. And I would much rather have a very small, carefully curated collection of things that I love, that are incredible, versus a huge collection of kind of mediocre makeup, things that don't really excite me. They're okay, but I forget about them and I'm just regret purchasing them. So just wanted to put that out there so you know where my mind is when it comes to purchasing new makeup. Of course, I'm here to keep an open mind and gauge your interest as well. So if there's anything you see that you are excited about, I'm happy to accommodate those requests. Just let me know down below in the comments. And if there's anything that you plan to skip, let me know that as well. I'm going to be going back and forth between the Trend Mood Instagram page and Chic Profile Official. I will of course pop up the screenshot, but in case you'd like to follow along as well, I will link both pages down in the description box. They are incredible, especially if you love beauty sneak peeks, product reviews. They're a great resource for the beauty enthusiast. So right now I'm looking at the Trend Mood page. I'm on the fence about this first product and I wanted to start here because I need your feedback. At first, I thought this was a definite yes. I was so excited, even though I kind of knew that I shouldn't purchase. And since then, I've kind of talked myself off the ledge. So this is a new eyeshadow palette from Byredo. It's called the Prismic eyeshadow palette and it includes 18 shades, shimmering lilac purple, copper red, soft matte navy, and more. $96. It is available today somewhere. Wherever it is available, I will be sure to link it if I can. It looks interesting. I know I shouldn't like this palette, but there's just something about it. I guess probably because it's Byredo, and I don't know whether I have hyped up this brand in my own mind because I don't really hear that much buzz about it. I think most people could kind of take it or leave it. But I don't know, for some reason I am so excited about this makeup brand. I was really happy with the 5-pan eyeshadow palette I picked up from Byredo, Corporate Colors. All earth tones. I went with the most boring palette of the 3 that they launched. This is the complete opposite. It's larger, not as convenient, all pops of color, it's tons of jewel tones. It's the type of palette that I usually steer clear from because it's going to get tucked in a drawer somewhere. I probably won't pick it up that much, and really none of these shades look that wearable. So I think I would probably use it a handful of times and then never again. If I'm honest with myself, I already know it's the type of product I would regret. But there's just something about it. I'm intrigued. I am so interested. I can't help myself. I did love the texture of that eyeshadow palette. They were all very creamy, easy to work with. They blended really nicely. And I would imagine these shadows would be the same way. I have 3 criteria when it comes to shopping for new makeup. 1, is it limited edition? Special packaging? Is there some sort of unique element there? 2, is it something that adds value to my makeup collection? Is it something that I don't already own, or do I already have 10 in a drawer somewhere? Or 3, is it something that I will absolutely use? Even though I have multiple foundations, I constantly go through foundations, so I have no problem picking up another one to review. This doesn't look like it checks any of the boxes. Maybe limited edition. Since it's a new makeup brand, I'm not sure if this is something that is going to be around for a while. The packaging does look interesting, but it kind of looks like clown makeup, like a big palette you would pick up at Party City right before Halloween in a pinch because you're doing costume makeup. It's a little bit adolescent, a little bit too jewel toned. And yet here I am, sitting on the fence, not sure. So let me know what you think down below. If you guys express interest, I'm happy to pick this up. If you guys think it's a skip, I'll skip it. The next launch we're going to talk about is from Pat McGrath Labs. It's her new Divine Rose collection. I think Divine Rose for Pat McGrath Labs has become what Pillow Talk is for Charlotte Tilbury. Every couple of months there's something else that pops up that's a Divine Rose. I don't mind it, but I'm sure some people are a little bit sick of it at this point. I already have the large palette. I picked it up whenever she launched the limited packaging in the original Divine Rose. Really beautiful palette. Very pretty. I don't use it that much, but I'm still happy I picked it up. I'm not really going out in the evenings, and this is not a very wearable, everyday, you're going to get a ton of use out of it palette. Unless you like to do really bold jewel-toned eyeshadow on a daily basis, if you love glitter and dramatic makeup. Otherwise, this is a special occasion palette, so I already have the large one. The only thing I purchased is the quad, and I'm pretty happy with that decision. I could have skipped this entire collection, to be quite honest. I picked up the quad because I've purchased all of the other rose palettes, and I just want to keep the collection going. I figured that would be really helpful to do a review because I can compare all of them. Otherwise, I would have skipped it, although I do think this quad looks great because if you take out that pink eyeshadow, the other three shades are very wearable. I think this could be a really pretty trio, and then you add the pop of pink and suddenly it's really fun, vibrant palette. It already shipped, and when it arrives I will do a review. My hope is that it's going to be a lot more versatile than you might think. The liquid lipsticks that are available at Sephora, they look really nice. I'm just not a huge fan of matte lipsticks, for one thing. Liquid lipsticks, I'm kind of done purchasing lipsticks. I'm trying to be on a low buy. I think Divine Rose looks really pretty, but the Divine Nude isn't the most flattering shade on any of the three models pictured, so that is an easy skip for me. It will probably be even prettier in person, let's hope so. The highlighter was also an easy skip. Even though it looks really pretty, the packaging is pretty, it almost seems to be a iridescent rose gold. I'll be excited to hear reviews on this as well. Even if it's incredible, I just don't need another highlighter in my collection. And that's basically the collection. There might be 2 new lip liners here. I'm not sure if those are new or not. Another lipstick, maybe an eyeliner. I'm just really not that interested in any of the lip products, just the eyeshadow palette. I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this ongoing Divine Rose color story. Are you guys excited to see more Divine Rose? Is this something that you look forward to? Or are you kind of sick of it, you're ready for something else? This has kind of become the signature for Pat McGrath. The next collection is Natasha Denona Love. There was a Love mini palette and then a cheek duo. I skipped both of these pieces. I picked up the larger Love palette last year along with the cheek. I never touched that cheek palette, and it's very cute packaging. Total waste of money. I do really like the eyeshadow palette, but I still don't really touch it. Lots of pinks and purples. This looks really nice, just nothing that I really need in my collection. Easy skip for me. Next we have the spring collection from Chantecaille. This butterfly compact looks so beautiful, but that's about it. I love the exterior of the packaging. I'm so tempted to pick this up just because I really like that little butterfly, but the shades inside are a bit disappointing. To me, this is a repeat of the Hummingbird collection. I know so many people loved those Hummingbird palettes, but I felt the same way about those. I loved the Hummingbird, but the shades inside just didn't really excite me. It's not even that they're boring earth tones, it's that they look kind of muted. They don't really look like the textures that incredible. I am sure you can create very minimal, pretty, basic makeup looks, but I feel uninspired when I look in the shades inside this palette. Maybe I'll see some reviews and I'll change my mind, but at this point, I think I have to skip it. Chantecaille is one of those brands that everything they come out with is really nice, really beautiful. They never come out with dull packaging. It's always an exciting brand that I like to keep tabs on. But when they come out with something incredible, it's incredible. It'll be the most outstanding thing you've ever seen in your life. For example, the holiday collection, not last year, 2 years ago, the 2 powders they came out with, the blur powder and the highlight. I'm still amazed with those pieces. So The bar is set kind of high when it comes to Chantecaille. I need something that's going to blow my mind. This butterfly packaging blows my mind. The colors inside are just too so for me to really justify picking it up. The lipsticks look really beautiful. Again, I'm on a low buy. If I wasn't on a low buy, if I was in the market for lipsticks, I would absolutely look into these because they look really pretty. Two eyeshadow palettes that do interest me are the Nars palette and this Bobbi Brown eyeshadow palette. I think both of these look really pretty. They're kind of similar, so I would choose one or the other. I probably would not pick up both, especially because they're not so different that I don't already have something similar. I just think as a palette, both of these look very cohesive and complete. They look like they would be really special to add to my collection, so I love the look of this Nars. It looks so wearable, really nice selection of mattes. I love these shimmery colors. This is kind of my ideal color story. These are the shades that I generally live in, so it definitely stands out to me, but I want to hear from you guys. Is this palette too boring? Are you excited about this palette? And I think the packaging is pretty cool. And then this Bobbi Brown palette, I was so impressed with that holiday palette that they came out with in December that I feel like I need to visit all of the palettes, make sure I'm not skipping out on something by accident. This looks really stunning. Similar color story. There's that one kind of pinky plum shade. It looks like this really pretty rose gold, maybe iridescent, and then the rest are earthy tones. This is the type of palette that I would get a ton of use out of, and it looks like they picked all of the right shades. That's what really stands out to me about palettes now, because of course I probably have all of these shades 10 times over somewhere in my collection, but if a palette is really complete, like the Pillow Talk palette, that's kind of my gold standard because it's my #1 favorite palette at the moment. If there's a dark shade, a light shade, plenty of medium shades, a pop of color, you know, a pop of shimmer, if it's just that perfect palette that can take me from day, night, office, happy hour, if it's incredibly versatile, that's the type of palette that I want to add to my collection because those are palettes that you just pull out one product. It's easy to get ready. You can take it with you traveling. You can take it with you anywhere, and it just always works. You don't have to overthink it. That to me is the ideal palette, and I see the potential in both the Nars and the Bobbi Brown. So they're on my radar. I'm going to go one or the other. It can't be both. The Tom Ford Rose Prick collection. Let's talk about it. All of these pieces are available at Sephora, at least they were. Hopefully they're not sold out by the time I get this video up. I am so annoyed. I am so annoyed at Tom Ford for packaging all of these products that he already has in this beautiful baby pink and black packaging, because this is right up my alley. I would have no doubts in my mind and I would have just purchased at the drop of a hat if these were new products. But here I am sitting on the fence, not sure what to do, because on the one hand, I love it. I want to purchase these things. The packaging is so beautiful. It's like you dangled the little carrot and I'm interested. But can I really justify spending $90 with tax, close to $100 on an eyeshadow quad that I already own in my collection? Am I that obsessed with Tom Ford beauty? No, I am not. There are plenty of other brands that I follow closely that I love. I couldn't afford to be a Tom Ford collector and just purchase anything he comes out with just because it's Tom Ford. It's beautiful, but I feel like it lacks all creativity. I really wish they had brought out new shades, something really exciting. To me, this feels like taking advantage of your customers because you know people are going to want this beautiful packaging. It's so different. It's so feminine compared to the mahogany brown packaging that everything typically comes in. But everybody has body heat, most everybody. I mean, that is one of the classic palettes. I think just about everybody has body heat or nude dip or some of these other palettes that they've brought out in limited packaging. Not a huge fan of this. Now, I don't already own Casablanca lipstick, so I might pick up the pink lipstick, but I'm on a low buy. I really had my heart set on the eyeshadow palette. I'm not really that fussed about the compact foundation. For whatever reason, every brand decided that 2021 they were going to bring out a compact foundation. Dior brought out a compact foundation. YSL. Am I missing anybody? There are probably a couple others, Tom Ford of course. What has happened a lot in the past is that brands come out with a compact cushion foundation. People buy it because it's new and different. Maybe they fall in love with it, but it doesn't do that well. So by the time they go to purchase a refill, or maybe on their second refill, the brand has already discontinued the product. It's just never really taken off in the States. So I don't know why. I feel like brands are kind of trying to force it. It's not popular in America. I don't think it will ever be popular in America. Am I saying that nobody likes this product? Of course not. There are people who love a cushion compact because it's convenient. They just want something really light and easy on a day-to-day basis. Especially now, since we're wearing masks, a lot of people are staying home. They're not going to the office. Maybe now there is more of a market for a product like this as people are moving to more minimal makeup. That would seem like the obvious trend, but I'm not sure that is happening. I don't have those types of insights. Just based off of my experience when I worked in store in cosmetics for several years, cushion compacts came and went. When they came, they were exciting. There was buzz for a couple months. It immediately subsided because the sales were just never that good. On top of that, I've just never been a huge fan of cushion compacts, the look. I'm probably not the target demographic since I prefer more medium, full coverage on a daily basis. So it's never really been right for me. I would rather have a squeezy tube. I think it's more hygienic as well. Just something to keep in mind. I would be very curious to hear your thoughts on cushion compacts. Are you a huge fan? Have you jumped on this trend before? Maybe you're revisiting, or are you kind of one of those people who never got that excited and you're still not that excited? If you picked up any of these cushion compacts, let us know down below in the comments. We do have 2 new eyeshadow quads from Tom Ford, Insolent Rose and Desert Fox. If Insolent Rose came in that rose prick packaging, that would just be the dream come true. I wouldn't have questioned it for a second. I would have purchased. I like the idea of these quads. I think they look very wearable. I could totally understand why somebody would just go ahead and purchase these. But they're not really that different, and they look very similar to other Tom Ford quads. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip. They look pretty. It doesn't look like something I have to have. This is one of those products that I might regret not purchasing initially, and then within a couple of weeks, I know I'm going to be over it and I'll be so happy that I didn't pick these up. And then they also brought out a new fragrance, Tuberose New. I'm going to review this. It's at Sephora. I saw it's at Nordstrom. I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but I love Tuberose. So this sounds like it could be right up my alley. I love the bottle and the label. Everything looks so clean and beautiful. And it sounds like it's going to be a really pretty floral fragrance for spring. So I'm excited to try this. I'm most excited about the new fragrance than I am about the makeup. Same thing as last year. So far, 2021 is looking very similar to 2020 for Tom Ford. What about the Guerlain Spring Collection, Pearl Glow? I love this entire collection. I love every single piece so much. I went ahead and I purchased everything. I have it here. I've been playing around with it already. I just couldn't help myself. I had to dive right in. Usually I like to wait, but in this case I couldn't. This review will be coming very soon. Unfortunately, when it comes to Guerlain, they're limited pieces like this. By the time it's launched, it sells out so quickly that I could get a review up and most of it's already going to be sold out. So if you see any of these pieces, just go ahead and snatch them up if you can, if you're interested at all. I know I said I was going on a low buy when it comes to lipsticks. This was, I think, one of the first orders I placed in 2021. I had to laugh to myself because I said I wasn't going to buy lipsticks. The first item I bought was a lipstick. But that just goes to show you, rules can be broken. For the right product, all rules go out the window. I shrieked. I was so excited when I added everything to my car, including the meteorites, and I checked out because it said only one left. I had that shopping high. I was so excited about these products, and that's how it should be. That's what I want all of my makeup purchases to be like. I'm thrilled and I'm just excited and I can't wait to get them, and I'm not just thinking like, oh man, like I guess like I'll film this video. Like I didn't even think about filming videos, doing reviews. I was just excited to add the pieces to my collection. I will say my meteorites don't look anything like this photo. The photo makes them look like they were sent from heaven. Like God himself created little dewdrops of meteorites, packaged them beautifully, and sent them down to Earth. They don't actually look like that in person. They do look really beautiful, just a little bit less angelic. The lipstick cases are incredible. Both of the lipsticks are beautiful. I love Guerlain. They come out with these incredible limited seasonal collections, and I could just eat up everything. Now let's talk about Dior. This is one of the brands that I've received a lot of questions about lately. Not really requests, but just questions of whether or not I plan to pick up any of these new pieces. And the answer is no, not really. I've been keeping tabs on Dior. I've been paying attention to all of the pieces they've brought out lately. Nothing has really caught my attention. There's nothing that really springs out as you have to buy this. This is so special, so unique, so groundbreaking. This loose setting powder, the compact is beautiful. I'm not going to pick up a powder just because of the compact. I wish there was something kind of interesting about it. From what I understand, it's just a flat matte setting powder. No luminosity, no iridescent sheen, nothing that really stands out or makes it unique. So for me, that's an easy skip. And it looks like it came out at the same time as this skin veil with SPF. I already have plenty of sunscreen, so I just don't think there's a reason to pick this up. They also came out with 2 new eyeshadow quints, and I want to love them, but I just don't. I'm just not that interested. There's this really pretty purple palette, and then this earth tone palette with the white shadow up in the corner. You know, I always said that it was just a matter of time before I would purchase a new Dior quint, and it just hasn't happened yet. I don't know what it is about these eyeshadow palettes. There is just no fire within me. I can't be bothered to purchase them. I hear people love their Dior eyeshadow quints, but the thing is, I hear people love them, and then months go by and I don't hear another word about them. I don't think any of those palettes have become somebody's go-to holy grail. Maybe I'm wrong. If you love your Dior eyeshadow, if there's a palette that is just amazing and you can't put it down, you're constantly using it, so happy you picked it up, let me know which one down below, because that would be the one that I would be interested in getting. Other than that, people say they love them and then they forget about them, or they just stop talking about them, and then it's just easy to forget. That's all I have to discuss for today. Doesn't feel like we talked about that many launches. Could be because everything I plan to purchase, I've already purchased. Most everything's here, or maybe it's on its way to me. I still have my eye on a handful of things, but everything else I'm gonna skip. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you found it interesting. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. Sound off in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. Are you excited about any of these launches? Are you slowing down on your makeup purchasing, or is it full steam ahead? I want to hear from you. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned, everything on my face will be down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.